Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really diving straight into what feels like a significant turning point for artificial intelligence. We're focusing specifically on a whole flurry of key developments just from this past month, July 2025. Our mission, like always, is to cut through all the noise, pull out the absolute most important insights from the sources you've shared with us, trying to give you that shortcut to staying genuinely plugged into the latest on AI, safety, policy, and, well, progress. So today we're going to be unpacking Anthropic's brand new Claude 4.5, also looking at a pretty big US policy move in AI. And then there's this breakthrough in AI-driven mental health support, which is fascinating. Plus the ongoing escalating global privacy debate, especially around autonomous agents. It's definitely shaping up to be a really interesting conversation. So let's just jump right in.
Okay, kicking things off with Anthropic, they released Claude 4.5 on July 22nd. And this isn't just, another AI model launch, it's multimodal.
So it handles more than just text. And they've really centered its development heavily on safety and interpretability. On the technical side, it's tacking 700 billion parameters.
That's a huge number.
Yeah, and it absolutely aced the MMLU benchmark. Got a 97% score. Just to give some context, MMLU, that's the Massive Multitask Language Understanding benchmark. It's basically this really comprehensive test of an AI's general knowledge, problem solving, covers 57 different subjects, history, law, you name it.
Yeah, it's broad.
So hitting 97%, that's not just good. Hugging Face evaluations actually put it ahead of NVIDIA's Aurora by a full 1%.
Which is significant at that level. But I think, one of the most critical aspects here really is that enhanced explainability you mentioned.
Right.
This feature, it lets users literally trace the model's reasoning, see how it got to an answer.
Okay, so you can see the steps.
Exactly. And this isn't just a neat tech feature. It's potentially a foundational shift. It could unlock AI's use in really sensitive areas, being healthcare, finance, highly regulated fields.
Because of trust.
Precisely. It helps bridge that trust gap between, human experts and these sometimes opaque machine decisions. It makes accountability more of a design principle from the start, not just an afterthought. And it directly addresses that growing demand we're seeing for transparent AI. We saw this reflected in policies like the American Medical Association's stance back in June, calling for clarity in AI-assisted diagnoses.
That is a vital point. And to make it more concrete, Claude 4.5, it's already being piloted. There's a UK hospital using it to help with patient triage. And apparently they're seeing a 25% improvement in decision accuracy.
Which is quite remarkable in a setting like triage.
Absolutely. But Anthropic has always emphasized what they call their constitutional AI framework, designed to minimize harm. What exactly does that mean in practice? And, how well are those safety features actually holding up?
So essentially, constitutional AI is about programming the model with a set of ethical rules, principles. It trains the AI to self-correct its behavior, align it with those guidelines, almost like giving it an internal moral compass, you could say, to minimize harm. But this does raise a really important question. Can these sophisticated safety features truly scale globally? We're already seeing critical perspectives like at Ethics on AI on X, posted on July 22nd, questioning exactly that. They cite concerns about potential biases, hidden in diverse global data sets.
Right, different cultures, different contexts.
Exactly. And they argue that transparency, while it's valuable, it isn't actually enough on its own. You need universal standards to govern AI behavior worldwide.
Sure.
So putting it in broader context, yeah, this model definitely sets a new standard for responsible AI, especially with other autonomous systems like Mistral's Codex gaining traction. But the real test, of course, is whether its safeguards hold up in the messy real world where errors can have, serious consequences.
Okay, so from the cutting edge of models, let's zoom out a bit to the policy landscape, because that's trying to keep pace with all this. On July 21st, U.S. Representative Blake Moore launched a major bipartisan AI task force. What's the strategic goal here, especially when you compare it to what we're seeing elsewhere, like in Europe?
Well, the contrast is pretty striking, actually. On one hand, you've got the European Union's AI Act. That becomes effective August 1st.
Right, very soon.
And it imposes quite strict, comprehensive rules, top-down regulation. The U.S. approach with this new task force seems to be focusing more on balancing innovation with ethical safeguards, using a collaborative framework, maybe a lighter touch, rather than jumping straight into rigid regulation.
Interesting.
It's different. It isn't just regulatory, It feels like a philosophical split. And it will probably shape where AI investment goes and how innovation evolves globally.
It does feel like the U.S. has been lagging a bit on the federal regulation front, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's been observed.
Bloomberg's noted it, and experts like Eric Seidel from Vero AI, they're predicting continued sort of light touch oversight under the current administration. What are the broader implications of this less prescriptive U.S. stance?
Well, one angle is that this approach also reflects an urgency, a strategic urgency, to counter China's AI advancements.
Ah, the competition aspect.
Exactly. Stanford's AI index has shown Chinese models like DeepSeek's R3 are getting really close to U.S. performance levels.
Wow.
So this task force, even if it's not immediate binding law, it signals a more proactive stance from the U.S. government, emphasizing homegrown innovation.
But is it enough?
That's the question. We saw at Tech Trends on X, also on July 21st. They praised the collaborative approach, the idea of working together.
Right.
But they also warned, wisely I think, that it might lack teeth without actual binding legislation down the line.
Right.
So does this innovation-first strategy truly address the long-term societal risks? Or does it just kind of kick the can down the road, creating fragmented standards that someone will have to unify later?
Familiar pattern, perhaps.
Sure.
Okay, let's shift gears again. Let's talk about AI's human touch. Because there's been a really promising breakthrough in AI-driven mental health support. A study came out July 22nd, published in Nature Mental Health from UCLA. It details an AI chatbot that uses multimodal data, so text, voice tone, even facial expressions.
Oh, three. Wow.
Yeah, to detect early signs of depression. And they're reporting 88% accuracy.
That's remarkably high for detecting something as complex as early depression. The immediate impact of this could be huge.
Yeah.
When you integrate something like this into telehealth platforms, the study mentioned it's reducing diagnosis times by 20% in their pilot programs.
20% faster diagnosis.
Yeah, that's a massive leap forward for access and efficiency, especially in mental health where there's so much unmet need. It really builds on other exciting healthcare AI trends we've been seeing, like, remember Stanford's cancer outcome predictor?
Yeah.
This is leveraging AI again, but for more timely and accurate mental health care.
That's incredible progress, genuinely life-changing potential there. But naturally, whenever AI deals with such personal, sensitive data...
Privacy concerns come up.
Exactly. Forbes reported that while patients actually appreciated the chatbot's empathy, which is interesting in itself, they also raised significant privacy worries. And this echoes warnings from places like TechTarget about the absolute need for secure data pipelines.
Yeah.
How do you see that balance playing out between the innovation and protecting this incredibly sensitive information?
It's the core tension, isn't it?
Oh.
Always. While this kind of application highlights AI's immense potential to address the very real mental health crisis, robust privacy measures aren't just like a nice to have. They are absolutely critical, foundational.
Non-negotiable.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The challenge is making sure that as AI gets deeper into our most private lives, the infrastructure for data security and privacy actually keeps pace. It can't lag behind.
Which brings us neatly to the broader, ongoing global privacy debate. That seems to be heating up too. The UN, for instance, they issued a call on July 20th for data anonymization standards, specifically targeting these huge models like NVIDIA's Aurora that just hoover up vast data sets.
Right, the data appetite is enormous.
And then closer to home, California passed its AI Privacy Act on July 18th. It mandates opt-out rights for consumers, setting a state-level precedent, which is often how things start in the U.S.
Often, yes.
But as Bloomberg pointed out, the U.S. still lacks that comprehensive federal equivalent. There's no national standard.
Still patchwork.
Yeah. And this whole privacy imperative, it just gets amplified, doesn't it, when we consider maybe the most dynamic, potentially disruptive area emerging from July, which is the rapid rise of truly autonomous AI agents.
Yeah.
We're talking models like xAI's Grok 4.1, Mistral's Codex. They're scaling really fast. Morgan Stanley even reported enterprise ROI as high as 70% for some applications.
The business case is becoming clear.
But when you say autonomous agents, just to be clear, what exactly are we talking about here? How are they different?
Think of them as sort of the next evolution of AI. These are models that can act independently. They can make their own decisions, interact with other systems, complete complex tasks, all without constant human oversight.
So they're not just answering questions, they're doing things.
Exactly. They have agency, they perform actions. But placing this in context again, the risks also scale up. An AI watchdog on X flagged the dangers of data misuse in these very models just on July 21st, urging stronger global standards.
Makes sense. If they're acting independently.
Yeah, the potential for misuse or unintended consequences is higher. And IBM also observed that most organizations aren't actually agent-ready,
Hmm.
meaning they lack the necessary infrastructure, the governance, the security protocols to really handle these complex systems and their huge data implications safely. So this regulatory push we're seeing across the EU, the UN, the US task force, it really reflects this global race, trying to balance the incredible innovation potential with accountability.
You see excitement, but also caution.
Definitely. Ex-post like at Snubbeaver did a roundup on July 21st. Lots of excitement for AI agents, but also real skepticism about unchecked data use. And Stanford's AI Index, again, it underscores this global diversification. It's not just the US anymore. Europe, Asia, other regions are rapidly closing the gap in AI development across the board.
So, wrapping this all together then, what does this flurry of activity in July really mean for us, for you listening? We've touched on Anthropic's Claude 4.5, pushing for explainable AI, the U.S. taking this nuanced, maybe innovation-first policy approach, contrasting with stricter global regulations, the incredible promise, but also the privacy challenges of AI and mental health, and this escalating privacy debate around these powerful new autonomous agents.
I think July 2025 really feels like a significant moment of reckoning for AI, maybe one of several, but a key one. The sheer speed of innovation is visibly clashing more and more with the urgent need for safety, for transparency, for accountability.
That tension is palpable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This past month has really highlighted that tension. It shows us that the future of AI, it isn't just about the next technical breakthrough. It's fundamentally about the societal frameworks, the rules, the norms we build around this technology.
So, a final thought, maybe something provocative for you to consider. As AI integrates ever deeper into the very fabric of our lives, I mean, from critical healthcare decisions to the structure of national policy, how will we collectively define its legacy? What's going to be that absolutely critical balance point between fostering this groundbreaking progress and truly safeguarding privacy and fairness in this landscape that's changing so incredibly fast? Something to think about until next time.